got my air horn.
Yo, what up, man? You know what it is? Your boy, Trendsetter Sense. And of course, this is Chosen Journey, man. And this is a very important conversation I'm having right here, man, because this guy right here is so monumental when it comes to the Chosen Journey brand. And I was telling him when we were off air before we started doing this that his song God Made a Way was actually the very first song played on Chosen Journey. And it just means a lot to the brand of Chosen Journey, man. And I'm so excited to have him here, man. What up, RG?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
Man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's an honor for real. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for being here, man. And I'm so glad to have you, man. And we were just sitting here having conversations, man. First of all, Gwinnett County, Atlanta. You know,
Yo, it's a drive. The traffic has gotten crazy, man. Every time I come to the city, I forget, like, yo, this traffic is insane. And it just keeps getting worse. It took me an hour to get here today.
It took an hour?
An hour, bro. It's supposed to be a 30-minute drive, bro. This is insane. But yeah, yes, sir, man. Gwinnett County,
Yeah.
born and raised.
Man, let's talk about it, man. I just, we talked about God made a way. And God made a way for us to come together and have this conversation, man. Can you I just want to hear the inspiration behind that song. Did WhatupRG have a God? What was the God made a way WhatupRG moment that inspired that song? I know you have plenty, but one that sticks out.
Man, I feel like that song specifically was the God moment. Like,
wow.
I put up to the studio and I heard the beat. Actually, I'm tripping. I had that beat on rotation for like a week. And nothing had hit me really. And I pull up to the studio and I'm like, let me just like hit a quick little reference track, little mumbles, whatever. And that was the first cadence I came up with. Dun, 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 dun. And eventually I wrote the lyrics, whatever. 30 minutes later, I have the full song. And I'm like, I'm just playing it in rotation, overthinking about it. I'm like, it's not that crazy, whatever. Cray and Ace walk in the studio.
Shout out to Ace.
Shout out to Ace, man.
Yeah,
He's
shout out to Cray. Yeah, Reach Records.
They're like, down the hall. They walk in the studio and they just start going crazy. They're like, yo, if you don't put this out right now, you're bugging. This is crazy. I'm like, is it? Like, I just made it mad quick. It's not really, it's whatever. And they're just bugging me about it. And it took a couple, months for me to actually put it out. Maybe years. Might have been a year.
Wow.
But for me, I have a completely different approach for music, I feel. Where I really want to be intentional with the storytelling and the way we present the records, the way we shape worlds around records. Like I value the artistry side of it. And for me, going into it, it was like, man, this is just a single, like I could just, it's silly. It's actually silly in retrospect, but when I say the song itself was the moment, was because I feel like the Lord kind of showed me, it's like, yo, you think you know what you're doing. You think you got this whole thing figured out. You want to do this your way, whatever. Just steward what I gave you and let me do the work.
Wow.
And I mean, hearing you talk about God made a way and how big of a role it played in this, I'm
Absolutely.
like, man, that it's all God. Like,
wow.
It's
Absolutely.
all God.
Yeah.
Because for me, I mean, we all have our own ideas of how, our careers and our paths are gonna go, but at the end of the day, the Lord already made the way. He already made the way, and it's just on us to, move and take those steps of faith and trust in the Lord. So yeah, no, that's the story behind God Made a Way.
Wow. I went to a No Big Deal show over Center Stage, and they brought you out, and that when God Made a Way, woo, that crowd went crazy when you came out, bro.
Insane. Insane. Yeah, those moments are special, man. I mean, it's so funny talking about like my music career and all that stuff because for me, I'm like, so much of it is just the Lord's favor and the fans who have showed love and support throughout the years. Like, I just try to serve them well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out my man Aclesso too, man.
Oh, he's the one, man.
Yeah. That's when we went to Miami.
Did y'all link in Miami?
Absolutely.
That's
and it was so dope was after we did the Rolling Loud set, you know, he was with, you know, Dill and everybody. We were all kind of in the parking lot or whatever after the show, and he walked up to me. He was like, "What up, bro? Aclesso." And I just gave him a hug, and I was like, "Look," and he just started laughing. And man, that song y'all got together, which is crazy because y'all shot that video at that show. And I peeped it and I said, hold up, that's the show that I was at.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Look, man. Talk about it, man.
Look, man, that's all the Clesso, man. He sent me that record a while back ago, actually, and it took me a minute to track anything to it because I was just had a lot going on at the season. And then we did our Heaven on Earth camp, which is a collective that we're both in. And we're supposed to be working on Heaven on Earth records. Everybody's ducked off in their own. We rented out an Airbnb. Everybody's ducked off in their own stations. And the Clesso locked me in a room. And he's like, all right, bro, we're not leaving until I get this verse. I said, bro, I got you. He said, nope, we're not leaving until we get this verse. And so we tracked it. And, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, that record is special. That record is, and a Clesso is special. He's such a great artist, such a great person, a great friend.
He's a good dude,
for me,
man.
I'm like, man, I just want to see you win.
Yeah.
I just want to see. I told him he came out on my my first tour, 2019, St. Holy tour. He was opening for me, and I remember one of them nights. I was like, bro, I want you to get so big that one day I'm opening for you, bro.
That's what's
like
up.
you deserve it. Like he cares about the art. He cares about the message, and he's intentional with every step of his, of his process. Right now, he did that whole tour with like I think torn ACL.
Yeah, I saw
MCL.
he had the brace. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like this man cares about the music, cares about the art. So for me, I'm like, man, people like that, they deserve to win. Everything that comes their way, they deserve it. So
yeah, shout out my man.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, man. WhatupRG's in the building. Of course, this is Chosen Journey, man. You were talking about when things are the right season and when it's right to like even come and do this show. Can you kind of dive in like what's going on in WhatupRG's world that comes to these decisions and conclusions?
In what sense?
Like you said, like there was a season where you just kind of like you were
Ducked
just taking
off.
a chill.
Yeah.
And I also I think it's in your song, you said lately I've been low key. Lately I've been low. Rio.
Yeah.
So can you kind of just dive into like what you mean by that?
Yeah. I think just personally, I prefer to just live a low key life. That's it for me. I mean, I think just observing and seeing where culture's at. I think everything is like, the world is. Everybody kind of has become their own brand when it comes to like social media and all that. Everybody's like, oh, let me just get my aesthetic and let me do this. And even just like artistry wise, people, it feels like we're just like fighting for attention. Not like in a crazy way, like where, people are literally fighting, but it's like everybody's putting out, all this content, whatever. And it's like, man, like I don't want to lose sight of the things that are truly important outside of social media, outside of like even just this music stuff. Like I really value my time at home. I just got married a year ago, so
Congrats.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. I just really value being present, and even when I'm with my fam, I'm like, this is what matters to me. And most of the time, I am with my fam and with my friends, so I'm not like thinking of content. I'm not thinking about how things are performing or whatever. I'm just like, I'm here.
Right.
So for me, in this season that I'm in, I think the Lord's just been working in my heart. stewardship. Stewardship. Like, you know, I have all these relationships, and my music has opened doors for so many, you know, so many things. I'm like, man, like when I was a kid, I used to dream about this stuff. Like, what am I doing with it now? You know what I'm saying? Like, now that I'm here in this position, I'm in these rooms. I'm like, all right, Lord, what do you want me to do? So I'm just kind of just making myself available and seeing what comes with it. But
Love it,
yeah,
man. I love it. WhatupRG's in the building, man. Speaking of Rio, man, first of all, congrats, married man. You shot your video in Rio, and that was your honeymoon?
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
And you had a show
That
too.
was wild, actually. I owe my wife a real honeymoon because it turned into a work trip. It turned into a work trip, man. But yeah, we got married we got married on Saturday. Monday we were on a flight to Brazil. We landed in Sao Paulo. We were there for a few days, and then we went to Rio. But yeah, Rio is just one of them records, man. I actually wrote that the weekend that I got married. So we got married in court, and then we had our vows a year later.
Okay.
So I wrote that song a year ago when I first got married, first got married. And I was just sitting like, man, like, this is way more important to me than anything. Like, just being present. What I'm talking, I mean, I sound like a broken record, but truly, like, this is what matters to me. Like, just being a good husband, being a good son, being a good friend. And that's what inspired the whole concept, is that tension between wanting to go stuck off and, be, present with my family, the people close to me. And then having a platform and having to steward that and having to, like, be present for your audience, your fans, who are people who also support you, who also love you. So, yeah, that's real. And then shout out Nesk Only, man. Nesk Only, he's from Brazil. He's been killing it. I think there's a really dope scene out there, like just really dope Christian hip hop scene that people don't really kind of just overlook because it's self-contained. Like, Brazil itself shows so much love to their artists, but they've been showing so much love to us for the longest. Like, the reason I made that choice to collab with him was because Brazil, Sao Paulo, and Rio have been like my top cities on Spotify for so long. And I'm like, yo, like, how can I serve these people who have been showing love to me, these last couple of years? Like, how can I serve them and kind of create this bridge for what we're doing? Because at the end of the day, it's kingdom. But yeah, I don't know. I think I have like this long-term vision and dream of this space being global, not like I don't know. I feel like we focus so much on just what's going on here in the States, but there's such a incredible, it's just an incredible movement going on in the world where the Lord is moving. And I think as a community, Christian hip hop, what we have can serve and speak to so many people outside of just, these borders.
Right.
So yeah, that's the dream, that's the vision, and I'm all the way locked in on that.
Man, that's the question that I was going to ask you, was like, is that a goal or a mission? And you kind of answered it. To that, I just think that's so interesting that you talked about how Brazil, the community out there, how you tapped in with Nesk Only, and how this thing is a global journey. It's not like just in a pocket. Yeah. And it's interesting that you said that, because that is the vision of what God blessed me to do with Chosen Journey. Yeah. And it just goes beyond, man. So that's just super dope, man.
Nah, it's really cool, man. You start looking at things differently too, because I'll share this story. Like, one of the first people I met out there, he I'm like shooting a video with him, whatever, and he pulls me to the side and he's like, yo, bro, I just need you to know, when I first got saved, you were the first artist I found to like start replacing, my secular music and start listening to Christian music.
Wow.
And I just wanted to thank you.
Wow.
That was it. And we're like speaking like I'm speaking broken Portuguese. He's like trying to like.
You know Portuguese?
No, bro. I'm trash. I'm trash. I'm over here speaking sign language, trying to make sentences, but we're we're communicating like it's crazy. It's just like the way music connects with people outside of like, what's in your not peripheral, but like, in your direct vision. Like you just never know who you're speaking to, who you're reaching. And I think that's why for me it's important. I'm like, man, like let's not lose sight of what's going on around the world. Like I know it's a lot going on in the States, and I know there's a really dope, thriving community in the States. But there's Brazil, there's Mexico, there's Central America, there's Europe. I just went to London and saw Limo Blaze's show.
Shout out Limo Blaze.
Shout out my brother, man. That's my dog.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do him like I was about to do him dirty, but
what was it?
We've been talking so much trash on FIFA, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, shout out my brother, Limo Blaze. But nah, what he's doing out there, and what the Lord is doing out there in London, it's like, bro, we can't lose sight of this. Like we there's people that support us everywhere. We gotta like really invest time and energy. I know a lot of people don't want to make that trip or want to make the effort because sometimes realistically it doesn't make sense financially. Like sometimes you're not gonna, what I'm saying, you're not going to Brazil and think and think like, yo, I'm about to come back with mad bread and you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna invest all this money and you come back rich or whatever. Like no, like there's currency exchanges, there's completely different ways that people view money, and you're gonna take a hit. You're gonna take a hit regardless. Like sometimes it's you're praying that you break even, but you're gonna take a hit when you take these risks. But long term, you're serving something bigger than you. And I think for me, that's my the Lord's put me in a place where I'm just not afraid to take those risks.
Wow.
And, I'm genuinely not afraid to take them risks. I'm like, if I got to take an L for there to be a bridge between, the Christian hip hop community here in Rio and the Christian hip hop community back home, let's do it. I'm there.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what I'm on right now. And I'm just praying for wisdom on how to steward that and how to like really. Do it right.
That's what's up, man. Talk about it, man. Cien
Docenas. Yes, sir. Shoot, I gotta explain the title because Cien Docenas just translates to 100 dozens. Growing up, my mom always had like any given day, man. She had like the whole dining table like set up with like masa and all the ingredients for making tamales. And so growing up, I'm like, man, my mom just really loves to cook. She's incredible. Like she ruined food for me because it's so good that anywhere else I try like tamales, I'm like, this isn't it. This isn't my mom's food. Like,
right.
But yeah, no, growing up, I just thought she loved to cook. And, as I got older, I realized like, yo, this is like a means to provide for the family. And, for me, I just kind of took it as like, man, my mom's always had this heart to serve and to, feed the people around her, like just provide and to make something happen and lovingly do it so graciously. So for me, I wanted to take that heart and put it into my music this year. I'm like, all right, this year I'm just gonna go into it. I'm gonna serve people well. I'm gonna serve the people around me well, community well, but I'm also gonna make something happen. I'm also gonna make something happen, not for my sake, but for everybody around me who's directly affected by, my decisions and by the way I move. So Yeah, that's Haciendo Cenas, man. It's just setting the tone for the year.
Crazy, bro.
Intentionality,
Yeah.
and vision, purpose, all around, just driven.
Tell me about, so we have Rio and we have Haciendo Cenas, and I see you're dropping these songs. What is the? I'm trying to. What can we expect from this WhatupRG project that's coming up?
Yeah. Right now I got a bunch of singles. So my goal is just to keep them coming consistently. Every month I'm gonna have a whole new record,
Okay, that's how
a
we
whole
doing it,
new rollout, like just consistently feed the fans, because if you're a WhatupRG fan, one, you're patient.
That's funny.
You're mad patient. And two, like, you really care about this too. Like, the same way I care about the music, you care about the way music is presented, and for me, that's a big thing. So yeah, I just want to serve my fans well and give them all the music in the world. I have singles that I've teased that they're like, yo, drop this. And I'm like, okay, bet, I got you. I got you. I got to load it up. And then there's joints that they haven't heard before that I'm just really excited to share. And hopefully they come along, the whole journey with me, because I'm all over the place. We got Haciendo Cenas. The next one is Z99, which is a corrido, just like regional Mexican music. And just all around, just approaching the music a whole different intentionality, man. That's pretty much it. Yeah,
I love it, man.
And then after that, we got the album. So
okay, yeah. So do you have a date set or
for the album?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
I know when I gotta finish it, but I don't have a release date.
On a serious note, man. Shout out to Cali. Prayers to California. You see what like is going on right now. Can you kind of, when you see like what's happening, what is WhatupRG's opinion on the times that we are in right now? Have you given that any thought?
Man, shout out LA and the people of LA coming together to support each other. I have so many friends and community out there that are actively just like, sharing resources, and I feel like everybody just came together and said, all right, yeah, we're gonna make it through this. Like, I just saw a master Google Doc file that was like a list of GoFundMes for Black families that were displaced. There's another one with Latinos families that were displaced. I think they're both like 50, they might have all been, by the time this comes out, they might have all been covered, like their GoFundMes. And these are like millions of dollars that people are raising to support the neighbors. And I think it's just incredible to see. And yeah, I make sure my prayers and my heart goes out to them, because it just takes resilience. It takes strength to like really push through that. And it's not like I'm praying for y'all. Like, no, it's like this is more than just thoughts and prayers. Like, this is action. This is community. This is coming together and doing something for those affected. So for me, I've just been praying and figuring out ways to get involved. I'm working on something actively, like currently working on something to help and support. I just spoke to a pastor out there yesterday, and he's like, man, like, we're a little out the way, so we weren't affected, but we have one family who lost everything. And then just hearing it from him, I'm like, man, like, he's like, these people, when they pack up and leave to evacuate, they're just picking up, they're thinking, all right, let's just get whatever, we'll be back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they hear like, oh, you gotta evacuate, it's like, yeah, let's just boom, boom, boom.
Right.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
They didn't have a place to go back to. They didn't have home when, you know what I'm saying, it's time to go back. So I think for me, it's just, my heart is heavy for them, man.
Yeah.
My heart is heavy for them. And I'm telling you, man, we're actively working on something to, to show up for LA. Not just myself, but I really want the community to come out and show love and support. LA is such a big market for music in general.
Right.
And for Christian hip hop, LA has always showed up, showed out, shown love. Like I think for us it's time to show up for them as well. But I'll have updates on that later.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is 2025? Tell me how what does that look like for WhatupRG?
2025, man. I have my plans, I have my goals, my dreams, I have the vision board. But you know how it goes, man. You always make your plans and God's like, yeah, I got better plans.
Right.
I got my plans. So for me, I'm just stewardship is the word for me this year. I'm just trying to steward every opportunity, every gift. And the music side, creative side. I'm helping Hovey with his like set design for tour right now. Like,
Really?
'cause for me, I don't just do
That's fire.
music. I see myself as like a multifaceted creative where I design my cover art. I produce. I edit my videos and all that stuff. Like all around, I think for me this year is just a stewardship. Like every gift that I have, I'm gonna show up all the way, whether it's for me or whether it's for my friends, whether it's for whoever. Like I'm just showing up, and yeah, you're just gonna see a lot of output from WhatupRG and Heaven on Earth and all. Everyone around me. I pray that this year we just move with intentionality. So yeah, that's
Intentionality, good word. I like that, man. And stewardship. WhatupRG, man. I appreciate you, bro, man. This was definitely a moment that I'm glad that it was able to happen. Like we said, God Made a Way is like a soundtrack to what Chosen Journey is about, man. And I'm just glad to have you here, man.
Yeah.
I thank you so much, man. Rio is out right now. Siendo Cenas.
Yes, sir.
Out right now. More singles on the way. He says Z99.
Yeah, Z99, February, is it 20? 14th? One of them days.
You tell me.
One of them days. But yeah, it's coming out next month.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Man, can't wait for it, man. See what it is, man. WhatupRG, Trendsetter Sense, and of course, this is Chosen Journey.
Yes, sir. Give me my air horn.